the Epic of Gilgamesh opens in the city of Uruk, where Gilgamesh, a young and powerful king, is known for his remarkable strength, wisdom, and lineage as two-thirds god and one-third human. However, Gilgamesh's pride and tyrannical rule weigh heavily on his people, who grow weary of his oppressive demands and his unchecked ego. In response to their prayers, the gods create Enkidu, a wild man of immense strength who lives freely among animals in the wilderness, as a counterbalance to Gilgamesh. Enkidu's presence in nature reflects his purity and connection to the untamed world, living as one with the animals until he encounters Shamhat, a priestess who leads him into civilization. Through their connection, Enkidu becomes aware of human customs, and he loses his wildness, a symbolic transformation that begins his journey toward humanity. Enkidu learns of Gilgamesh's tyranny and travels to Uruk, where he challenges Gilgamesh to a fight. The two wrestle fiercely, but the contest ends in a stalemate. Instead of remaining adversaries, the men gain a deep respect for one another and become close friends, a relationship that brings balance to both their lives. This profound bond alters Gilgamesh, who begins to desire heroism rather than domination. In a quest to solidify his legacy, Gilgamesh proposes a journey to the cedar forest to slay Humbaba, a monstrous guardian appointed by the god Enlil. Despite Enkidu's initial reluctance, he agrees, and together they embark on the dangerous mission. Along the way, Gilgamesh is haunted by unsettling dreams filled with omens of darkness and destruction. Each time, Enkidu offers interpretations that reassure him, showing Enkidu's role as a stabilizing force in Gilgamesh's life. Upon reaching the cedar forest, they confront Humbaba in an intense battle. Humbaba, sensing his defeat, pleads for mercy, but Enkidu urges Gilgamesh to strike, fearing the creature's trickery. Reluctantly, Gilgamesh kills Humbaba, but this act angers the gods, foreshadowing the tragic consequences of their actions. After returning to Uruk, Gilgamesh's heroic reputation draws the attention of the goddess Ishtar, who proposes marriage. However, Gilgamesh, aware of Ishtar's history of treating her past lovers poorly, rejects her, listing her many betrayals. Furious, Ishtar demands that her father, the god Anu, send the Bull of Heaven to punish him. The Bull of Heaven wreaks havoc on Uruk, but Gilgamesh and Enkidu ultimately kill it together, further angering the gods. Enkidu, in a final act of defiance, taunts Ishtar by throwing a piece of the bull at her, sealing his fate. The gods convene and decide that Enkidu must die as punishment. Enkidu falls gravely ill and is haunted by dreams of the afterlife, which he describes as a bleak and oppressive realm where souls exist as dust-covered shadows. In his final moments, he laments his fate and curses those who brought him to civilization, but ultimately blesses Gilgamesh. Enkidu's death leaves Gilgamesh heartbroken, and he grieves deeply for his friend, grappling with the pain of mortality for the first time. The loss of Enkidu, his beloved companion, forces Gilgamesh to confront his own mortality, igniting a desperate fear of death. Driven by this fear, Gilgamesh embarks on a quest to find Utnapishtim, a man who survived a great flood and was granted immortality by the gods. Gilgamesh believes that if he can learn the secrets of eternal life, he can escape the fate that claimed Enkidu. His journey takes him across vast and treacherous lands, through mountains guarded by scorpion men, and to the end of the world, where he meets Siduri, a wise tavern keeper. Siduri advises Gilgamesh to abandon his quest for immortality and enjoy the simple pleasures of life, food, family, and love. Despite her counsel, Gilgamesh remains undeterred, determined to reach Utnapishtim. With the help of Urshanabi, the ferryman, Gilgamesh crosses the dangerous waters of death and finally meets Utnapishtim, who tells him the story of a great flood. Utnapishtim recounts how the gods sent a deluge to destroy humanity but instructed him to build a boat to save his family and animals. For this act, the gods granted him and his wife immortality. When Gilgamesh pleads for the same gift, Utnapishtim tests his worthiness by challenging him to stay awake for 6 days and 7 nights. Gilgamesh fails almost immediately, falling asleep, which Utnapishtim uses to emphasize the limitations of human nature. As a consolation, Utnapishtim tells him about a plant that grants youth, which Gilgamesh finds underwater. However, as he rests, a serpent steals the plant, leaving Gilgamesh empty-handed and symbolizing the elusive nature of eternal life. realizing that immortality is beyond his reach, Gilgamesh returns to Uruk, where he gains a newfound perspective on life. In the final tablet, Gilgamesh gazes upon the massive walls of Uruk with a sense of pride, recognizing that his true legacy lies not in an unending life but in the enduring achievements he has built for his people. His journey from tyrant to wise king is complete, and he accepts the limitations of mortality, understanding that meaning in life is found in one's impact on others and in the legacy one leaves behind. Through Gilgamesh's journey, the epic explores profound themes of friendship, the human struggle with mortality, and the search for meaning. His evolution from a selfish ruler to a humble, wise king is driven by his experiences with love, loss, and the recognition of human limitations. The epic ultimately suggests that while immortality may be unattainable, true legacy is achieved through one's deeds, relationships, and contributions to humanity.